So I'll go down to the next pair which I'll do, and I'll do gold. And gold is also at a level whereby I'm still waiting for some confluences to align so that I can know how best to play out. So yeah, this year the same pattern that we had on euro was repeated on gold. Consolidation after touching the 1360 mark, a breakout, retest of 1305, and a collapse all the way from 1305 to 1175. Getting to 1175, some demand came back in, and you can see that the markets have been trying to go higher, almost touching this trend line to make a retest, but we never touched the upward trend line. So if you use your Fibonacci and try and get the retracement that we currently have, which will also be a false breakout of this trend line, if you are able to get a move back up pushing gold probably higher to the 1400 mark or the 1430 mark by the end of next year, but we're talking about now. So right now, currently you can see that we are capped by the 78.6 and some demand has come back in pushing the markets higher. But if you go down to the 4-hour charts, or to the daily charts I mean, I have two channels on the daily chart, and you guys can already see the two channels. So on one channel, this is the channel, and we came into this channel after we broke out of 1305. We had a retest and we went lower, taking out this lower side, came back, had a retest, and then we went lower, held by 1225 for some time before collapsing all the way to 1175. Getting to 1175, we came back into a new channel, and you can see that we made a new low almost at the 1160 mark, and we came back into this new channel, formed a new higher low, formed a new higher high at the 1240 mark, and now we formed a new lower low at the 1200 mark, and we expected a new higher high to be formed, taking out this 1240 mark and ultimately hitting the 1265. But you can see that we have been capped by the channel that we were in before we had a breakout. So currently you can see that we are trading at the 1225 zone, but we are going lower, and yesterday's close was quite short. It was a doji candle signifying that we could be getting short plays coming in, and you can see that early in the morning today it's almost London open. We are an hour into London open, and you can see that some supply is coming back in, pushing the market slower. As much as I'd advise or I'd advocate for a short trade, I wouldn't advocate for a long short trade on this pair. And if I'm going short, I would be getting out at the 1210 1215 mark, because I believe breaking of this trend line and going ultimately lower, the lower trend line that I'm talking about, will be quite a task. So I'll be watching out for that, because I believe we can come back and get supported by the pivot points and the 1210 mark, and we can ultimately go back higher and make the new highs that I was talking about. And that will especially happen if we are able also to see the euro go back to the S2 mark, and we can have the head and shoulder, the inverse head and shoulder, before going back higher. So on gold currently, if I go down to the 4-hour chart, I was looking to execute a short trade, but I never got a very good entry level. And you can see right now with my tool that this is not a really good risk reward tool, but I will be still going short because I believe this is a high probability trade. Anyway, we're in this flag right now, and inside the flag you can see we touched the flag several times. It's a channel actually, and we touched this time, went higher, but instead of forming a new higher high, instead we formed a new higher lower high, and we have been going lower, forming a new lower low. So if you look at this closely, you'll discover that inside this channel we formed a head and shoulder pattern, and I'll show you the head and shoulders. Starting from this point, we had this left shoulder, then we came back lower, formed a head at this point, came back lower, touched the channel again, and this is the right shoulder, and down we go. So, and you've seen already, we can already spot that the neckline has been broken and retraced. So some downside momentum expected on this commodity, and if I map out the level that I'm looking for in this commodity, I'm looking for at least hitting of 1210. So if you're able to get to 1210, I'll be going out just like I was saying, and I'll be looking for long plays depending on how the pair will be playing out in this zone. So gold, you can go short I think to 1210 or to 1215 depending on how you execute your trades and how you enter. So that's my gold insight, and I'll go down to the next pair.